Why do people have the urge to play bad games like Jekyll and Hyde in Action 52? Is it just AVGN or something else?
I'm sure AVGN didn't hurt it, but I mean, all the way back to when I started, buying these games up in the late 90s, there was always a real appeal to playing the absolute shit games. Probably more so when they were cheaper, and you could pick up a shit game for a few bucks and whatever.
Yeah.
It was no real skin off your
Speaking
back.
of Jekyll and Hyde, that shot up.
Yeah,
that used to be like a $5 game. What is it now, 20?
I don't know. I don't even see it anymore. I used to say this all the time. I used to say that there was no such thing as a bad NES game. I used to say that there were ones that were fun to play and that there were ones that were fun to laugh at. And that, when I first started collecting, that was honestly one of the big appeals of it for my friends and I. We'd go to the flea market, we'd buy a bag of 20 NES games, we'd go back to my place, and we'd sit there. And the good ones, we'd play for a while and be like, this is really good, and we'd put it in a pile, and we'd go back to it later that day. And then the bad ones, we'd play for a while, and we'd just laugh. And it's just, I don't know, there's something inherently funny about it, but to me, a lot of the bad ones also, not all of them, but even a lot of the really bad ones do have these little nuggets of good ideas that just never made it out of the trash. And it was always interesting to see
Streamers in Action 52?
Yeah, exactly, something like that. And it was, or just like Action 52 in general. It's like they just crammed the most crap in there they possibly could. Or you turn on Action 52 and you get hit with a not at all legal rendition of Rob Bass. It Takes Two. And I mean, these things are just funny. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was the drug use at the time, but it was just. It was
maybe it was the Quaaludes.
It was funny to put in something like Raid 2020 and just laugh at the ridiculous of it all, or to put in something even more common like Narc and be like, this is absolutely fucking insane.
I can play Narc though. You can play that.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying you can't, but I mean, it's still just weird. So I think with bad games, it's also, there's a borderline to.
Silent Assault's really bad. That's a 1/2 star.
There's a borderline to bad games as well. I was talking to my friend Frank a little bit about it, where I genuinely, unironically enjoy Wally Bear and the No Gang.
Oh yeah, it's entertaining.
I like it. Yeah. And it's not just for the kitsch factor or the anti-drug message. It's not even for the eye-searingly bad wallpaper in Wally Bear's parents' house. It's not a good game. It's hard and there's lots of patterns to memorize, but it's got this weird, repetitive, hypnotic music, and there's something fun about it. It rides this thin line of absolute crap, but it sucks you in and you play because you want to see the next weird cutscene. You want to see the next weird level with these odd glitches, and that sort of thing just keeps you going.
I gave it a 1.5 stars. At the end of the
I would have given it the 2 bump. You can give me an U for that.
No, I mean, you give it a nostalgia bump. It's not a 2-star game. But as I write in this guidebook, at the end of the stages, Wally will converse with an animal friend in a cutscene who will inform him of an issue someone is having with substances like drugs or alcohol, or other issues like having to retrieve a stolen item. In this way, a thin story exists, which is really an excuse to convey knowledge like don't drink and drive, and to not talk to strangers offering candy. While designed to help keep kids safe and off drugs, it certainly wasn't designed for enjoyment. That's my review, which is about accurate, I would think, for something like that. But the whole point is that it's bad to play, but there's enough surrounding the game that makes it like just a curiosity, at least, that you can say, oh, this is like it's like watching a bad movie. You can watch a bad movie, and it's not like you're going into the movie with expectations that it might be good. You know it's not going to be something great. So you can just sort of relax, let your guard down, and just enjoy it for what it is. And that's the same thing with a bad video game. I think it's the same thing. Yeah. You can just sort of like, well, we can get out of it. We can get out of it. We're not looking at this with a totally critical, eye about it.
Sure.
So let's see. Do I have the urge to play bad games though? I don't know. Is there anyone we ever played in the NES Marathon that we go back and play that's actually really bad? That we just feel like, oh, we want to play this? Besides Color Dinosaur, that doesn't really count.
I was going to say, we always do Color Dinosaur, but I think that's more for tradition.
Like curiosity. That's a creativity game. It's not really like a game.
I don't know that there's anything that we really, truly go back to that's bad on purpose.
We should try The Last Ninja this upcoming.
Oh God, no. That's a game that I really abhor.
It's actually pretty hard to find. Last Ninja.
Yeah, I really hate that game.
That's a bad port. I met the composer of it.
It's supposed to be like a really great game on the
PC.
Commodore.
The
Commodore, but it's awful on the Nintendo.
All right, well we'll pick out some unintentional or intentionally bad ones this ending this marathon and see what we can do with them. Like Last Action Hero. That's actually fairly fun. Last Action Hero, for how bad it is.